Hey, welcome everyone to Stepping Inside the Squared Circle. I'm your host, the Coach Chris Ortiz, also host of the Be Someone podcast, a Mr. Rick's production. And on this segment, we are going to talk to the young talent here at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. We're going to pick their brains. We're going to learn about the genesis of their wrestling dreams. We're going to talk about all the different things that the reality of wrestling can offer a young up-and-coming or aspiring professional wrestler. So without further ado, I bring to you Stepping Inside the Squared Circle. And joining us today on Stepping Inside the Squared Circle, we have Jay Knight. How are you doing today, Jay?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Hey, I want to thank you for being on the maiden voyage of this new Reality of Wrestling podcast, show, whatnot, man. So
thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. There'll never be a first, another first.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, hey, let's get into you, the person. Okay. Where did your love for professional wrestling, where did it start? What's that memory?
Being a fan of wrestling in general has always been a generational thing for my family, from like my great-grandpa and just downwards. And I remember my brother and our cousin Kel, we were watching WrestleMania. I forgot which one it was. But watching Jeff Hardy and all the pyro and all the high flying, I was just, oh, this man's cool. I got to get into this. And all the action figures, going against the advice of don't trying this at home and having these matches with each other. And it just kind of went from there. And then I had a few doubts like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. You try other things as one does. But it's always just been that little itch in the back of my brain that's stuck with me.
How did your parents take it when you said, hey, Mom, Dad, I may want to try this professional wrestling thing out a bit?
My dad, he was pretty supportive about it. My mom, she was like, oh, here come the hospital bills, which luckily I haven't had too many. So.
Yeah. So tell me this. What is it that drew you to Reality of Wrestling? Because, obviously we're here, we're filming, you're a student at Reality of Wrestling. What drew you to this, we'll call it like the Harvard of the South when it comes to wrestling schools?
The prestige, really. I remember back during COVID when I originally tried to start coming here, couldn't get a hold of anybody, but I remember the drive-through shows they used to have. And it was Gino versus Clay Roberts in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And I stand in front row cheering, hoping Clay would win. Had no idea what was going on or the story or anything, but the match was just, it drew me in. And at the end of the match, Gino gets out of the ring interacting with the fans. And as he's unwrapping his tape, I remember, Gino, when are you going to get a title opportunity? And he just throws the perfect dot of wrist tape right at my forehead. And I was just, oh, man. I don't like this guy, but I got to come here now. I need the match.
All right. So you kind of see it like as the gauntlet was laid down and I'm destined to wrestle Gino, who is a Reality of Wrestling, legend and is doing wonderful things out there on the indies right now. What is it that you really enjoy about this school? Like what separates, this school from what you thought wrestling school would have looked like?
Really the family around it, because obviously it is a competition, even though we're entertaining, we're sports entertainment, but it's still a competitive aspect to it of, you got your spot, now you got to fight to keep it. But, it's not a lot of egos backstage, because you'll hear, oh, this guy has an ego, or don't talk to that guy, they're the bad egg. And it's just, I haven't really had that many experiences of bad people here. It's just a lot of camaraderie, a lot of guys, met people that have led to different opportunities around the state.
What is it that creates this family-like bond? Because you're correct. Everyone is in competition, right, for that main event spot or who's going to wrestle that next NXT talent whenever they get here. Okay. But at the same time, you mentioned that there's like a kindred spirit. There's a brotherly feel over here. What makes that, happen?
Just being open. Everybody comes in with their shells and, just kind of standoffish, but just reach out your hand, try and, be a friendly face, someone that can be comfortable around you. All the back and forth banter, the cheering people when we do our drills, and it's quiet in the room. You get a cheer going, get the energy going. It's a great feeling whenever you have like 12 guys cheering you on while you're running the ropes.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me, what are some things that you wish you would have known prior to coming to wrestling school? Because I'm sure that there's been a number of eye-opening experiences, here once you've walked into the squared circle, so to speak?
Man, the amount of icy hot I would need. The ropes, always thought, everybody's, oh, they're just super bouncy. It's like a trampoline. And then I remember first tearing down the ring for my first time, seeing all the metal and all the wood. And I was like, I knew it wasn't, super bouncy, but I didn't expect it, all of that. And I was like, all right, makes sense why it hurts so much.
Of course, of course. As far as the trainers go, y'all get to learn from, some experienced veterans that are going out and doing great things on the indies right now. Who are some of the trainers that have made, a huge impact on you as a young professional wrestler?
I would say Tommy Bolton, great guy. Ryan Davidson for sure, Brian Keith. And I'm trying to think. It's a number of them. But I think right now might be my top three.
Well, talk to me. What did Tommy instill in you, that still carries, true today?
A lot of just take a risk, a smart risk at that. But if you feel like you can do something, or if you have something cool in mind that you can do, you can stand out with, do it.
How about BK? What is BK, impressed upon you?
Just the work ethic. He knows he's not the most in shape guy, but he's a great worker. And it's just like, you don't have to be BK. You can be in shape and a great worker. Just keep your mind open, keep your ears open, and listen to what's going on around you.
Yeah, there's something really cool about watching people that look very human go out there and, capture their dreams and, fight for the thing that they want most. And he's proof positive that, a iron work ethic, right, can get you really far. What are some things about reality of wrestling that, as far as like the educational standpoint goes, what do they offer that people outside who are potential, students, what do they offer?
How's the TV experience? A lot of schools, with all respect to them, they don't really teach you the TV aspect of it, the working the cameras, working the fans, making sure you get your pictures, your 8x10s. They don't really teach you all of those aspects. They focus the in-ring, and you don't get a lot of character development with them. It's a lot of just, oh, you're on your own for the character maybe. You have the promo classes here, fully focused on character development, opening up, being comfortable speaking on mics. It's just, you get different aspects of it.
Sounds pretty all-encompassing, right? You're not just here, chiseling away at the physical. You're not just in here, honing your craft in the ring, but it sounds like you're also in the back, developing, the character or the gimmick that you're eventually going to grow into. What are some dream matches with some people on the roster that you'd like to check off your list? Because y'all have a very decorated roster that's going worldwide and doing wonderful things. Who are some people that you eventually want to hop in the ring with?
Singles-wise, obviously the Gino match I mentioned beforehand. But my partner, Dante Marchese, I feel like we could have some fun. BK, Ryan, and I want to wrestle Diego De La Cruz. I feel like he's a real unsung hero of wrestling.
Go into detail on that.
He's just such a great worker, safe. He listens. He's a great guy to be around just outside of the ring in general. And we have our student shows, and it dawned on me that I've wrestled Vega in a singles, and then I've wrestled him and Cristiano in a tag, but I've never worked with Diego before. So that's something I feel like I got to cross off the list.
Definitely, right? You got 2 of the 3. Why not 3 of the 3?
Yeah.
When this whole wrestling experience, let's say it's over and you're lying on your deathbed, what are a couple of goals that you want to have achieved?
Obviously, I want the tag titles here. That's goal number 1. And I've always had a love for our TV title. I don't know, it might be the red strap that drew me into it, the people that's held it, but that one in the Texas, just the lineage of the Texas Championship, some big names that's held it. But as far as big goals, I've always loved the X Division Championship for Impact or TNA.
Oh, you're a TNA man.
I have always had a love for the X Division and the Ultimate X matches, and that's definitely a match or a goal I want to achieve at some point in my career.
Who would you like to see standing across from you on those Ultimate X matches?
I want Chris Bay, Josh Alexander, Kushida, either one of the machine guns, doesn't matter which one. And I'm trying to think, because there's, again,
that's a pretty stacked card right there.
Stacked list. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. I'm sure it'll pop in there eventually.
Feel free to drop it in, man. Let me ask you this. Why wrestling? What does it do for your soul? What does it do for your spirit, to hop inside the squared circle?
I've always been an entertainer, or between band, choir, different sports throughout school, and it gives me the outlet to be creative and entertain people, and just help distract from the little bit of reality for just a little bit. It just helps me. It makes me feel good seeing all these fans cheering, all the kids getting into it, knowing that they'll be back the next show.
All right, I like that. What about the fans? What does it do for you whenever you hear, the fans stand up, cheer, applaud, when you go over the top rope or you hit one of your high-flying, aerial assaults?
I really gets the adrenaline going. It reminds you of why you're doing it. Because after the show, your body's hurting, but you'll think back like, man, those guys loved it. And that's what we're here for. So some people are here to make money. Some people are here just to, I was a wrestler for a little bit, but I'm here to entertain. I'm here to obviously win championships, but making sure the fans have a good time and putting butts in the seats is the overall goal.
Yeah, and with your entertaining, high-flying style, your youthful exuberance, I think that the wrestling world, is going to be your oyster. Now, before we get out of here, I'd like for you to talk to the people, out there and sell them on why do they need to come to Reality of Wrestling to help, further their wrestling dreams.
If I were to say anything about coming to Reality of Wrestling, is it'll be obviously a little nerve-wracking when you get here. It'll just be am I in the right place? Am I doing this right? But we'll ensure that you're in the right place, you're doing the right things. Even if you doubt it, I have my doubts, everybody has their doubts. But at the end of the day, you don't take it home and you don't sleep with it. You come back the next day, you work on getting better each day. And we're here to help you with that from any aspect. Commentator, manager, referee, just any aspect you want to do at it, we'll help you with it no matter what.
Oh, yeah, and hey, I lied. I have one more question. One more question. What is it like having someone like Booker T, a two-time WWE Hall of Famer, giving you guidance and wisdom? What does that do for a young professional?
Definitely puts a little pressure on your shoulders because, he's seen everything. He's seen it all, different gimmicks, different characters, different personalities. So it definitely puts a little bit of a shoulder to stand out among the crowd and have that, I kind of like this kid. So it's a little bit of a pressure to just make it here.
Has he thrown you any, words of advice in particular, or has he said anything to you that's really stuck?
Look cool when you're doing things.
Right.
Even if it's just the smallest pose after a drop kick or something, just find a way to look cool. Get your pictures, make your money.
Yeah. Well, the best coaches in the world find a way to take something that's extremely complicated and then simplify it to where it's digestible for their athletes,
Yes.
So that's exactly what I just heard you say. I want to wish you the best of luck. Thank you for being on the maiden voyage of stepping inside the squared circle. Wish you the best, man. You got a good look. You're a nice kid. You're athletic. You got charisma. I didn't know you sang bass too in the choir.
Yes,
but, good luck, man. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Pleasure being here.